All right, people, can you see us? You can see my thumb. This is a little different format than what we did the last time, but I am attempting to figure it out. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and post this up. All right, guys, can you see us? Let us know in the chat real quick. This is a little bit weird. Hang on, let me shut off the voice on this thing. Okay, I think that is working. I could be mistaken. So, anyways, we're kind of having an impromptu, sort of impromptu. We kind of thought about doing this like towards the start of the week. Celebration of making 2K subs, which is, it might be small for some, but it's pretty big for us. We haven't really made a lot of progress last year, honestly. And last couple of months, I mean, good Lord, we've been making great strides. And hopefully it'll keep going that way. Hopefully we'll all be able to see you again at the No Name Nationals and several other events that will be announced in the future. Now, if Jamie's going to Mo Party, it kind of makes it more tempting for me to try to drive to Plymouth to Mo Party, but I don't know. We'll see. So what we're going to do on this is we're going to do a little Q&A, and at the same time, we're going to tear apart this lovely 383. The original motor out of that Plymouth right there, which you guys can't see it, but it's right here, off to my left, somewhat. And if you didn't see the short, it runs. And next week there'll be a full video, which, you know, I'm gonna start increasing the length of my videos, but this one's gonna be about, what did I say, 16 minutes?
It's somewhere in there.
I think I said 16 minutes. I think that's how long I've got it set up to. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start ripping this old motor apart. And hopefully, we'll find some good news in here, because it's actually locked up pretty good right now. Unfortunately, we might have done some damage to it. And we being me. I did damage to it. But
I'm sending a few links.
Let me get the proper tool, because I did forget that. That's sitting over there. Watch out for all the cables right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'll put this chair as a cable warning.
Let's see. Where are you at? Where are you at? There we go. On a blank. What's your name? Yeah, Tristan. All right. Hopefully we'll have some more people joining us here pretty soon. All right.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to demonstrate this. Now, in the video, you'll see it. That's locked up pretty good. I'm not sure how that happened to get locked up like that. Kind of a little weird deal. But I've got The valve cover's already pulled. They've just kind of been resting. Well, this side's not.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Here's dipstick.
Here, I'll start working on that other valve cover. If I can find the tools.
You can certainly find the tools. I think I set them out. So,
These fancy electric
Let me see if I
ratchets,
can-
man.
I know, it's fancy.
I'm not used to that. You know, I like manual where you have to work harder because I'm a glutton for punishment. And I like to do things the hard way because the work just seems like just a little bit more rewarding when you finally get it done. You know what I mean? So every little wrench twist that you got to do just kind of makes it that much more satisfying when you're done.
So, the question there about the history of this motor, I bought a lovely 71 Plymouth Satellite wagon from a gentleman in north central Kansas. And it had been sitting for quite some time. I believe it was 26 years or so. And the gentleman, he was in poor health. We didn't film up there. He was really hard to communicate. He was really hard to communicate with. He had a stroke, and the symptoms kind of left him. It was hard for him to function. We'll say that. Now, he kindly let me have this thing for $1,250, which, you know, Mopar prices, that seems kind of ridiculous. Like, I looked around for one for a while. I had a 67 New Yorker with it was a pretty nice car, honestly. It was really clean. Had a bullet hole from the inside, like poking in the driver's door. So it had some kind of history. And I looked around for a 440 and a 727 for it, and I could not find one. So I kind of gave up. And I traded it off to a fella after I got this one. But this one I had the intentions of keeping and fixing because it's more of a family rig, you know. I'll probably drive it to Florida if I get the opportunity. But anyways, sitting for 26 years. When I got it, this motor turned over freely. It had no fuss whatsoever turning. It was quite surprising. You know, I deal with old rusty squares, and I've had small blocks and big blocks locked up on me from sitting for unbelievable amounts of time. Did you get all the ones on the bottom?
Yeah.
All
Oh,
gone?
no. I'm used to Chevrolet where there's not ones in the corner.
Lessons learned, right? We don't have a lot of Mopars in our collection, and we've learned a little bit. This has been quite the learning experience. But anyhow, this particular motor, like I said, it started off turning really free. Like, it was impressive how free it was. I just turned it by hand with the belt, and I couldn't believe it. I've never had a old motor that just didn't fight me immediately. And it turned over 100%, 360. So I put a little fluid in each of the cylinders, although I did that off camera. That part is not filmed. But I put that in. I put a little fluid in each cylinder. There we go. This is the rocker rod. I don't know what else you call it, but I'll call it a rocker rod. How about that? Oh, to break my jacket even more.
Them things ain't cheap.
No, they aren't. Now, anyways, sitting for 26 some odd years, you'd think this thing would fight, and it came apart. You know, it came over, it turned over plenty fine. I didn't have any issues with that. It was kind of impressive. Then I took the dadgum thing, I worked on it a little bit, and it started having issues, and I was getting no oil pressure whatsoever, which, I mean, who can tell under all the dirt what's going on down here? So I decided to go ahead and do some stuff. this is the oil pump. Now, I didn't know at the time, but apparently this oil pump is fully external. There's just a rod inside that, comes up to the shaft from the distributor up here. So I didn't know anything about them. I'm used to the GM, as we said before. The oil pump on a GM is located down under the back, at the bottom of the motor in the oil pan. Pretty cool little deal. Very simple. Pain in the butt if you have to replace it, though. I can tell you that. You just have to drop the pan and go through that process. You have to pull the distributor and all. So,
Comes out a lot easier when you got all the bolts pulled.
yeah, isn't that novel? I don't know how that works. Hey, look, that's a perfectly good hose. You should save that.
It kind of reminds me of the timing chain cover on a Skylark.
Yeah, magical. There's a video coming up shortly on a 71 Skylark that belongs to John, and we didn't film a lot of it when we initially put it together. We ended up just kind of not doing much with it. We were in a pretty big lull. We were too busy with other things, and it didn't happen. So we have caught up. We have a video coming out on some of the recent updates. But that being said, back to this. So anyways, it turned over beautifully. We had no issues. I did some work to it. I put a starter on it. I made it crank, made it fire, or I thought it would fire, and then it wouldn't do anything. It was getting real difficult to turn over. Discovered that the starter was in fact damaged, but I'm not sure if that was a side effect of it actually being in poor health, possibly just a cheap Chinese starter. Because I did use I think it's a 96, was it 96 318 starter off a Dakota, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what you told me.
And I went ahead and put that on. It worked pretty good for a little bit, and then it didn't. Then I warrantied it at O'Reilly's, tested it. It was bad. So I figured that was the problem. But then I started realizing it was actually getting difficult to turn the thing by hand. And so I said, well, forget it. We'll pull it out because I don't want to damage it, because at that time I only had this one motor. We pulled the motor, or went to pull the motor, which you will see next week, and it didn't move. It didn't move at all. Like, I had a long bar, I was up here pulling on it, and I was just tightening up that bolt something fierce. And now it is stuck, and I don't know what caused it to get stuck. So we're going to go ahead and open it up and see what in the world's going on. That was kind of a long-winded story as to what the heck happened and how this motor happened to occur in my collection. And, well, now we're going to go ahead and take it on down.
Don't let him lie to you, folks. He just likes to hear himself talk. You don't hear that in the videos. But when I come over here to work with him, I hear it quite a bit.
Only a little bit. You don't hear it that much.
All right, we got some to stick these push rods in, or you care?
We're going to just probably lay them over there. I'm not really concerned at this time because I'm betting that damage is critical. At a bare minimum, it needs to be torn down 100%, and then we can go from there.
Well, I was thinking maybe a tub we can soak them in. That way, if you needed a spare for the other motor.
AutoZone has them.
You mean to tell me you'd rather spend money on new parts?
Sometimes. Would you kindly get me a wire brush? Oh, okay, that works. That does look like a wire brush.
Yeah, well, I used it, when did I use this? Yeah, I had to fish my wing nut for my air cleaner
Ah, there we go.
out from around the distributor. And I just neglected to put it back.
Also, as a side note, in the past, I've done some small amounts of tearing things open. As you saw with the valve cover being off, I also took out this side's intake bolts. So, yeah, we're halfway there. The heads will be off in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, why not? Sometimes your optimism, It surprises me and scares me.
Boggles the mind, I think is the phrase you were looking for.
No, I mean, I appreciate your optimism. You know, you seem to think that a tank of gas will get you halfway across the country, and then we're sitting south of Fredonia with fumes.
That's fine.
What was
Tank
it,
of gas
Fredonia?
got us that.
Concordia.
Concordia, yes. The wrecker has lost a few times on the side of the road with no fuel. Mostly my fault. Pretty much always my fault. Oh wow, that critter is hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, let me try and grab a wrench and see if we have any better luck with the
Yeah, we might clean up a little more around that one because it's a fighter. It's not a lover. There's one coming out nice and smooth.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna work.
Maybe we need to soak it with PB Blaster. Perhaps that's the angle. We'll catch up with chat here.
Let me see that pick while you're catching up with chat.
You can have the pick.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Jim, I had an alternator behind the seat on the wrecker. Being as I travel frequently, I keep a few parts in the wrecker just in case. So there's a spare starter, which frankly has probably got maybe 2 hours on it. And the alternator I pulled off of something. So, well, howdy there, Shadow from Blue Springs, Missouri. I don't know where Blue Springs is. We were down by Jim. Where were we? You tell me where, because I can't remember the name of that town. It's down by Joplin.
Neosho?
Was it Goodman? It was Goodman. That's where we were at with Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. So that video is live now. If you guys are bored later on, feel free to get on in there and watch that video. Because let me tell you, every little view makes a huge difference. Oh, good. You got one.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta.
Where did the magic extension go? Did I put it over here? There it is.
I don't know.
I found the magic extension.
That's another reason why I feel like I need my own tool
I don't know. I think it would just be double the best.
Nah. Then you couldn't blame me for any mess that may occur, because I'd have my own mess to contend with.
Yeah, we'd still blame you.
Don't be that guy.
I'm gonna be that guy.
You're slipping off.
All right, we need a slightly more solid item to pull that off with. Clearly, the power tool is not a ratchet. Heck yeah, Jim, that was a heck of an adventure. Although it wasn't as far as most of my regular adventures, it was still pretty good.
I need that pick again.
Well, back to the pick. These head bolts, let's see, those are much bigger than 5/8.
Yeah. Wouldn't be that bad if we were working on a Chevrolet, but, you know.
Oh, it's not that bad anyways. What do you know? They're 11/16.
I made that shallow.
Hmm?
Need a shallow 9/16 you have.
Ah, there you go.
Thank you, buddy.
Careful, that's a 12 point.
Oh, well, I don't need a 12-point 9/16.
We're just gonna rip these on out. I'm not really concerned with the bolts. What I am concerned with is the heads and the blocks. So we're going to try to do our best to save those. Notice I'm cheating with a power tool because I don't like breaking my elbows on things. There we go. Maybe I should take the dipstick out, which I have retained with a tiny little bolt.
Yeah, use your dipstick, Jimmy.
Not the inevitable Jimmy. Inevitable Jim. There we go. Look at that. Just how much garbage has been collecting up on this for Lord knows how long. Look, that is a lot of goop. Goodness.
Yeah, it's starting to suck.
Sorry, what?
It's starting to suck.
What is that?
Yeah, the carburetor's in the way, so it throws
Well,
off
we can pull the carburetor, but I was kind of being lazy. I didn't want to. It's easier to catalog an intake in the collection if you just leave all the parts on. Oops, whatever that was, I just dropped it.
Come on. Yeah, this one is not wanting to come out.
So, anyways,
Yep.
Edelbrock or Holly? Tell me your preferred aftermarket carburetor. There's a leaf in there. I might have put that in there. I left the head of the valve cover sitting off the head here.
Yeah, you had to went and specify aftermarket.
Well, yeah, nobody's gonna say I love Quadrajets.
I do.
You're weird. That's the thing. There's not that many people out there that are gonna say that. They're probably gonna try to cancel you now because you like Quadrajets that much.
If you know what you're doing, Quadrajets are just as fine.
Just FYI, I have a huge stock of Quadrajets, and I haven't really ever dealt with any thermoquads, so I take that back. I think I did on a 318 one time.
Yeah, I'm pulling the carb.
Okay, pull the carb.
I'm pulling the carb, and you can't stop me.
Well, don't damage the carb because it's a beautiful 2-barrel carburetor that, I'll probably never use again.
Yeah, but somebody might.
Maybe.
And that's the important part. There's some poor guy that has been searching for a 2-barrel carburetor for a Plymouth.
Well, I think that's any Chrysler 2-barrel, if I am not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I don't think I am.
I don't know. You've been mistaken before.
Only a few times, mostly with regards to fuel levels.
Do you not have just a steer? There we go. No,
Yes,
that's
I
a
do.
wide wrench.
What do you look for?
A 1/2-inch wrench.
Yeah, there's probably one in there somewhere.
How about 15-30 seconds?
Probably some in there somewhere. Hey, these are actually pretty good looking plugs.
Yeah.
I'll probably put these on the wrecker. It needs some plugs right now. There is a 1/2-inch right there.
Where?
Right here.
No, there's not.
There it is, right here, see?
Yeah, the one. You've got two 15-30 seconds to your 1/2 inch.
Probably the other 1/2-inch ones are in the back of the wrecker behind the seat in the lovely cargo storage. I'm probably going to do a huge video on the wrecker coming up here shortly because the wrecker has actually got a lot of stuff that needs to be done to it. Like, I've got to do rear springs, rear shocks, rear brakes. What else? What else do we got to do? I got to fix the headlight again.
Yeah, just
That-
about everything.
Yeah, that headlight went out again while we were hauling to Dalton, which I noticed on his video. I actually lost it a little bit sooner.
Go, Bo, go. Tristan's on.
Hey, Tristan, welcome to the stream, bro. You ready for the gambler? That's probably going to be a pretty sizable operation. I might just drive the wrecker this time, same as I did the last one
And I'm gonna
and the
hope-
last one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hope that I got a transmission in before April. I might have one if it's the right one, so that I can at least get the Vic back on the road. I miss driving that car during the wintertime when it was snowy, because it'd have been fun.
You,
In
you
the
should
snow.
probably tell more about the Vic in general because, you know, nobody on here has seen the Vic except behind the wrecker.
Yeah, I know.
Because we actually, so early on, right after, like very shortly after I got the record running, I took the record on the Gambler 500, the Kansas Gambler 500. And that was quite the test drive, shakedown, whatever we want to call it. It was a good shakedown for sure. The record shook a lot, as does, you know, every time I drive it, it shakes. But anyhow, we took it down on the Gambler. We had some fun, but we didn't really film it very well. And that was partially a learning experience for me and how to film big deals like that, you know?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And these are studded on this end, I think. Oh yeah, you got that?
Yeah,
Sweet.
with my fingers.
All right. Yeah, we had some fun with it. And then the last Gambler 500, Kansas Gambler 500, John's lovely green Crown Vic decided it didn't want to go anymore because the transmission gave up. So we just barely got this thing back together
Who knew donuts in a cop car was going to be its downfall?
in mud.
Yeah,
In mud.
yeah.
It should have just slipped on through there, you know? No problem. But it is what it is. Anyhow, I took the wrecker out there after literally reassembling it. We hadn't
Yeah,
done
yeah,
anything to it.
Yeah, before I left for the Gambler, we'd put the front end together, changed the front springs, shocks, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
it's
night
like
before
everything.
you left. We put fresh front shocks on, or fresh shocks and springs. And I say fresh, they're pretty clean looking springs I had acquired from someone. Yay, 2-barrel.
If you need a 2-barrel for a Plymouth,
It's perfectly clean and it works great.
we accept Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Visa, MasterCard,
O'Reilly's gift cards.
Diners Club card.
All right. Now you have access.
At
Hand
least-
me a 9/16 on a half inch.
Oh.
Ah. What they say, when in doubt, ugga it out.
Just gotta wait for the last week to get ready. Tristan, that is our mantra no matter what we do, whether it be the Gambler or the car show. That 57 Chevy, we waited till the last week before car show to get the motor set in.
So the camera is right there.
Yeah, but my hands. Okay, anyway. So when you say last week to get ready, that's already our day-to-day
Oh.
life.
Oh, that's really cool. An insulator. Ah. By the way, that intake is really heavy. That is interesting. Look at this. Here, hang on. I'm going to show you guys a little bit closer. Look at that. That is an odd little deal. I haven't encountered that before, but again, I'm not an expert on Mopar engines or even any other engine that's not a small block Chevy or big block Chevy.
Hey, Vic's on too. Hey, Vic.
Hey, Vic. Welcome to live, buddy.
Yeah, I saw your post about the little Lancer. That's awesome.
Okay, I think we're properly aligned with the motor. Maybe, 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 no.
We've got
Good
a
enough.
delay. We've got a delay, bud.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Look at that. What is this? Where they? I bet there's cocaine in there. Anyways, we didn't see that. We're just gonna take those off. Wow. Is it actually part of the valley cover?
No, it's just, well,
It is. That's why the valley cover on the other motor looks like crap.
no,
Oh.
it's just
Tucked under this.
underneath there.
There's a shelf. You don't want to scratch yourself on that. That's oh.
Yeah, I bet that's part of
That's
the problem.
probably
right there.
not helping it. Hang on, we'll take this thing off and we'll show you what's going on. That's not good.
That ain't bad. Never mind.
No, that ain't good.
That's because you're a pessimist.
Well, I know for a fact that's letting water in. There's a rust hole in the middle of this valley cover.
Hey, my wife's on. Hey, baby.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
We got more people on.
This is already like 3 times more than the last live we did.
I think that's possibly because I hyped this one up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I did tell several people that we were going live.
Yeah. If only it was summertime like the last live.
Yeah, it's a little cold right now. Not that cold, but it's a little cold.
I don't know. I kind of want to get my coveralls on.
Oh, hey, there's no bolt there.
Hey, there's no bolt. There's that guy. No, we don't need no shot vac. We're just gonna tip her upside down and let everything fall on the floor.
Honestly, I can't remember if I drained the oil out of it again.
We'll figure it out soon enough.
Well, so
Told you, Wyatt.
we got little holes. Got a little hole right here. You see my finger? I'm trying to not stick it in there. I don't want to get too poked up by the rust, but there's a little hole.
Right, it says trust in the rust at the end of the videos, and you worry about a little bit of tetanus.
Well, you know, it is an operational hazard and all that, and I'd really rather not get tetanus and then have to go to the doctor. Doctors cost money, and that detracts from the value of things I can purchase for vehicles. So
I'd be more worried about having to eat everything as a smoothie for months because your jaw's wired shut.
yeah, that would suck. So I think we've got all these bolts free on this head. Oh, no, I lied. That was close to free. Apparently I didn't quite get it all the way.
Come on, man.
Back to the big power tool. There we go.
Yeah. Jim said it's our rugged good looks pulling everybody in.
You're right. It must be. That's why his wife joined. She couldn't resist.
Yeah. Just wait. I'll be clean shaven this time next week. Probably not.
All right.
At least trim and haircut.
Well, here goes nothing. Head popped free. Oh, interesting. All right. I'll just set this right here. Dump all the rat turds that are hanging out of it everywhere.
Well, I assume you want me to start pulling head bolts on this side down?
Yeah. We're gonna do this number. All right. It actually doesn't look that bad on the top end. It's dirty though. There's a lot of carbon and dirt and grime in here, but it doesn't look that bad. Oh, that's kind of chunky. That's very chunky.
That ain't nothing but a thing.
And the head gasket doesn't look too bad. I don't see any signs of any blowouts or anything of that nature. But yeah, this is rather chunky. So yeah, I'm gonna get some juices that we can pour on here, and we might just try to turn it over gently, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see once we get this head off. wife's really pulling for me to shave and cut my hair.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she says she sure hopes so.
She's tired of you looking like a hippie from Ireland?
I mean, it helps me stay warm. I am a warm weather person.
Yeah,
I
it does
don't
help.
like to be cold. You know, if you quit breaking the record in January, I'd be a lot happier. Because it's always some big operation in January.
Well, it's February now, so we're doing really good.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as we expected, temperature-wise today. I figured it'd be rather cold, but
Yeah, well,
fortunately it's not that cold.
next week's going to be a different story, and I'm already bummed about that.
Next week, maybe I can test the four-wheel drive and not get stuck in Dalton's yard again. That was fun. Honestly, it looks really good in here. A little bit of goop on there. It's got a nice grip.
Alright. Everything off in sequence.
I'll just leave them all in there. We will not be reusing the head hardware.
Man, you were talking an awful lot like a guy that has a bunch of money spent on parts.
I never reuse head hardware, ever, period.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do in a pinch.
Yeah, well, sometimes I just don't want to pull a motor again,
Yeah, well, sometimes you need a 7/16 bolt somewhere else. It's not in the head.
There we go. I strategically placed the trash can in close proximity. That is as much as I planned this out.
Yeah, we definitely don't plan ahead on none of these things.
I mean, we discussed it, but there wasn't a lot of actual planning.
You wanna know what our plan is like, just wait till the Skylark video comes out. That'll tell you all you need to know about how we plan things.
Ready to go?
I think.
All right.
Well, that one's still in a little bit. That one's in a little bit. That's why I pull them individually, so I don't go yank on the head and get tripped up, and then it comes down and smashes my fingers, then I get mad. Then one finger looks like I got nail polish on, all the fun stuff.
Well, bright side. Your kids can paint it to match.
Well, I'm trying to get my daughters into greasy fingers, not painted nails.
All right. Oh, this one's even dirtier. This motor has got serious miles on it.
I mean, it's just a little bit of crunch. It's not
Here,
that
let's flip
bad.
it around so the good people can see.
Hear that? He called y'all good people. We care about our fans.
Running over the valley cover thing over here. What do we got?
Oh, Tristan says I'm about to start singing Richmond, North of Richmond, which is a good song.
You do have that look going on right now.
Yeah, I always kind of fashioned myself as more of a Tyler Childers kind of a guy, but yeah, I could see it. I couldn't walk around with my name being Oliver, I guess. One thing about that song that I really get a kick out of is, where are you getting bags of fudge rounds? I mean, I've seen them in boxes and individually. I'd like to buy them by the bag. I love those things.
I mean, maybe that's a welfare thing. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
I don't know. I'm excited for the peanut butter jelly M&Ms coming back. If people hadn't tried them, peanut butter jelly M&Ms, greatest thing ever. They made them in '08 and then quit, and now they're back, and I'm happy.
Well, I don't know. There's a bunch of junk inside of there, but you know, it's entirely possible that I knocked some junk into the. Oh, you can't even see me. Hang on. Watch out. Ugh. Adjusting fire. There we go.
You gotta wait. There is a delay.
There is a delay on our screen over here, so I presume that there is in fact a delay on yours. But yeah, each of these cylinders look really carboned up like crazy, but they're pretty clean. There's a lip, but it's not like a real notable lip.
I will say one thing about this Plymouth motor that I wish GM would have adopted, and that's this little opening in the valley, so you can get your lifters out. You can really pre-lube your cam. You can see a bad lobe without pulling the cam out.
Still stuck. It's got to be in the bottom end, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a little bag individually. I'm talking about a bag full of them. You know, like a shopping bag full of fudge rounds. That's what I imagine Oliver is talking about, Tristan. I mean, I didn't get these B cups by eating salad. Give me a bag full of fudge rounds. Let's see.
All right. I just brought some 5-gallon buckets so we can set a catch pan on it underneath of the oil pan, because I'm really not 100% if there's still oil in this thing or not. And I'd rather not make a giant mess. I just barely restocked my dry sweep.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Let's try 11/16.
Bigger, smaller?
3/4, amigo.
Well, by golly. There we go. There's some oil in there.
Yeah, but it's oil, not water.
Well, I already knew I changed the oil on this thing before I brought it into the shop for work.
Huh.
Before I even started working on it, I dropped the oil on it. Because sometimes,
that's black for changed right before you pulled it.
I mean, it's been in there for a while now.
Yeah, but it didn't get used.
You recall when I pulled this motor, we had a brand new microguard filter on there, right?
No.
Yeah, there's a brand new microguard filter.
Yeah, we pulled this like 7 years ago now.
It wasn't that long. It was like a year and a half ago. It was a year ago,
Close
honestly.
enough. We worked on the wrecker since then. That's all I know. More than once.
Look at this motor. Like, pulling off a caking of dirt. I'm telling you, it was Prairie Dogs. Prairie Dogs had this thing under lock and key.
And oatmeal cream pie. And oatmeal cream pies, Tristan says. I'm a telling you.
Yeah.
And,
By
the big ones, not the little guys.
By the bag.
The big round sandwiches.
Well, this oil is taking its sweet time to drain, so I bet you there's some gunk in there holding it up.
My little girl's watching right now. Hi, Liberty. I hope you're having fun watching Dad on TV.
Yeah, you're out of frame.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're not. That delay is way more than I thought
I
it was.
told you, we've got a delay. Tristan wants to know about your PB blaster can.
Oh, you want to know about the best thing that O'Reilly's has to offer? Well, by golly, let me show you.
One right there behind you.
Yep.
Oh, you get the can.
Well, if I can find it. Did I? Oh, it's over there on the transmission workbench.
Yeah. Yeah, just wait till you see this mess. What are we tearing off next?
The oil pan.
Oh, I figure we're letting that drain.
We're gonna let it drain, but I mean, there's not much else we can do at this point because the there's a convenient little problem. I guess we could take the oil pump off.
Yeah, I was thinking like oil pump, timing chain cover.
So you can go to O'Reilly's and order this thing of PB Blaster, and it comes with a little squirt bottle attached to the side of it. Unfortunately, you can see the squirt bottle leaks a little bit. It's not really the best quality, but it's convenient, and sometimes it's nice to get PB Blaster on your dry and cracked hands because it really helps to hydrate your skin nicely. It also burns a little bit in cuts. Ask me how I know. But yeah, it's I think it's like $30 or $40, something like that. I don't know. It's quite convenient, and if I'm careful with it, it'll last 6 months roughly. And you also need to go buy one of these convenient little itty bitty filters, which most of us probably already have at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, he's gonna go get one tomorrow.
You better get one tomorrow because they honestly seem to be running low on them. Last time I went in, they had like 3 in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and Lovejoy, I know they make double decker, but that's sold individually. You can't get a small gross of them, so you'd have to make several purchases, like a bag full at one time with one barcode. Streamline it, you know what I mean? We're really getting hung up on Little Debbie's, and I did not bring anything to snack on.
You have made a strategic error.
Yeah. We done talked about Little Debbie's, we talked about the M&Ms.
Where are we at with numbers right now?
I don't know, I'm not good with math.
You're from Kansas, I get it.
Let's see. 23 right now.
Ain't too bad, I guess.
Yeah, that's like 4 times more than the last live stream.
Where is the
Snowball.
where's the pokey deal? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. It was meticulously placed.
Cataloged, as Weston would say. Get the fuel pump off.
Which is funky looking. Not gonna lie, most of our fuel pumps are a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some weirdos, but this one definitely is not normal for me.
Hey, we were talking about OBS Fords earlier. Might have to see what Tristan has on his back 40.
Yeah, that's true.
Right now, Tristan's talking about snowballs.
Hey, lay off the snacks, sir. You're making him hungry.
Yeah.
Don't make me get a moderator in there. We're gonna stop talking about Little Debbie's right now. Man, you know what? Do sound pretty good though.
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about snowballs. That's making me think about coconuts. Now I'm on an almond joy kick.
It
I'm
just
telling you,
one
my
thing
tummy
after the other.
senses are tingling. Let's see.
We're kind of doing some archaeological digging right here to get this bolt.
All right, take her easy, Jim. We'll talk to you later.
Maybe it was 9/16 and I'm just stupid. Jim, thanks for coming on board for the live, man. And it was a pleasure to meet you up there, hanging out with Dalton. Of course, you had more fun with Dalton than I did at that point, but we did have a fun little adventure. I got to hang out for the last third of it. Last fourth. I don't know. You said it was 3 days. I think it was 3 days. I think Dalton said it was 3 days. Oh boy, come on.
See, we always do the stuff we're out in the shop for long periods of time when it's pretty chilly or fairly hot. There are no nice, warm spring days at the Empire of Rust.
You know, he's not wrong. We do tend to pick some pretty extreme weather to do shop activities.
Yeah, it's starting to sound a lot like work. I only get to go out of town when it's freezing or burning.
Okay, I think I got some of this thing cleaned up. I hope I can get a bite on it. I think I got a bite on it. There we go. There we go. Fuel pump's coming off.
Well, while we're on the mundane disassembly part, what got you into automobiles in general?
I was the only one in the family that was, aside from my dad, that was handy enough to touch them. So I kind of took a little pride in it. Still don't mind working on a vehicle from time to time. All right, I think we're probably done draining oil. We're going to find out here in a minute.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out in a minute.
I'll flip this thing over and then make a big giant mess. And throw the tools exactly where they don't belong.
Strategically place them.
All right, hold on. Go ahead. Turn it this way.
Oh, the other way?
This way, yeah.
Well, I got started on the first way.
It'll be easier this way. All right, that's fine right there. Right there.
Right there. Now, well, I gotta go back a little bit. Put the lock tool in. Yes, everybody, everything is a hammer.
Well, here's an interesting thing that you can see in one of the videos clips, but barely. But there's a little bit of rust right here on this side of the block. And there's a freeze plug that looks like it might have been rusted. There is a expanded rubber plug in this freeze plug hole. So yeah, somebody has done the easy way of maintaining. I believe somebody's already removed a bolt, because there's a bolt right here, rather long bolt, goes through the top of this oil pump, and it's missing. So yeah. What are you looking at right now?
23.
Nice. We're still up there.
Jack Stan's cinder block says he grew up poor, dirt poor, and just had to fix things when they broke. Same.
Yep. That's pretty much how it went. Who had a really cool first car? Mine was a Ford Aerostar.
Restoration Garage says, is this the engine out of the Dodge version of the Suburban?
Yes, it is. This is the original motor out of that one. Friday next week, you will see the rest of the Plymouth video. It will be broke up into 3 segments, and yeah, you'll get to see what happened with the replacement engine, which is beautiful. There we go.
Tristan wants to know what our opinion is on these newer vehicles. I hate them.
Engineering has really messed them up. Detroit has become a hive of scum and villainy, if that's even where they design them anymore. So, yeah, modern engineers are the devil. You can take that to the bank.
Well, here's my thing.
I mean, honestly, here's a great example. Look at this. Look at this oil pump. How simple is that? It's just an oil pump mounted here. This isn't even a GM. This is like, this is next level. If GM did something like this, they'd have the greatest motor on earth. The only two things that are wrong with GM motors, well, I say GM, Chevy motors, the distributor's at the back and the oil pump's in the pan.
The Skylark, it's an external oil pump and a front
Yeah.
distributor.
I corrected myself and said Chevy.
Ah.
Ah.
I said, I'm becoming a pretty hardcore Buick guy.
Becoming? I thought you already were.
Yeah, but even more. All the amenities of a Cadillac for half the price. I love them.
Go ahead and flip it the rest of the way. We'll drop a little dirt in that hole there, but I'm not really concerned. Oh, I missed.
Let's see.
So here's a really good one. Who's got an old antique car, truck, and how far have you driven them?
Jack Stan's Zinderblock says his first car was a 65 Mustang and it still needs new floor pans. Michael Lunsford says 78 Bronco. Tristan was an 89 Dodge Ram 50.
An 89 Dodge Ram, what now?
It says 89 Dodge Ram 50.
Ah. One of them little old critters. I'm telling you, I had the coolest one. It was a Ford Aerostar.
Mine was a 76 Chevy pickup.
Now, my folks had this Ford Aerostar for quite a long time. It started giving them trouble, and they upgraded. We didn't have the most monstrously big family, but there was I had 3 siblings, so we ended up upgrading to a big old Ford E150, long E150. It was super long, and that's actually what I did most of my driving on. But I did learn how to drive partially on a I believe it was an 85 square body Suburban, which is where that's where I got my love of Suburbans in general. And yeah, if it were up to me and I wasn't a complete nut, I would probably have a whole fleet of them out here, which kind of sounds like I should be a complete nut.
Well, I mean, you used to, though. You had like 4 of them at one time.
But yeah, I got rid of them. I had 8 of them at one time. 8 Suburbans, 8 square body Suburbans. At some point, maybe even tomorrow, after I dig up the picture, because I've still got it saved somewhere, I'll put that picture up on the community tab on YouTube, so everyone can bask in the glory of 8 Suburbans. So I think it was 7 of them parked in the driveway. But I got a picture of like 7 of them at one time.
Yeah, but you could never, you didn't ever have anything cool in the driveway when Google Maps drops by.
Well, I mean, this house has actually had a pretty good history. When we moved in, there was a Volkswagen, I think, over here, a VW Bug, and I think there was a Fairlane parked over here. So people have always enjoyed having this big shop since it's been here. Naturally, it is open to the elements, so, you know, if you want to see it, you just drive by and it's there.
Yeah, well, we couldn't get lucky with an enclosed shop of heat.
I mean, really, heat and air conditioning would be phenomenal. I don't even honestly care about the heat and air conditioning. I just take a lift. A lift would be amazing.
Yeah, Tristan, Yeah, so they're free. I'll rep whatever's free. He's talking about my snap-on beanie with the Matco hoodie.
I mean, he hasn't burst into flames, so he's doing pretty good there. But if he does, he can take them back for warranty, and at least they'll replace the items.
If they give them to me, I'd be rocking Cornwell undies right now.
We do like free around here. There, I just saved about an hour. What now?
Oh, Lovejoy's given us the definition of an antique vehicle, and that would be a car being 25 years or older and in original condition.
Kansas, I think it's 35 years for legal purposes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
that's interesting. There's a baffle in this one. The other one didn't have a baffle, I don't think. Very interesting. The more you know. We're taking in the mess, by the way. This is a very interesting setup on there. This is not full of plastic bits like the other one.
yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back. There's something in there. But it ain't near as much. So my theory that I had originally when I pulled the other motor apart, you'll see in the video next week, but there was some little bits floating around in the oil pan that got into the pickup tube. This is a completely different pickup tube setup as well.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah, they don't seem like.
No, that one right there is solid.
Like they don't seem like they're having issues.
This guy.
Yeah.
There's no wiggle to that.
Well.
Would you like a punch or something?
No, this is perfect. I don't want to damage these any more than I have to. Let's see.
Let's see.
I think this has the same style of.
Oh, Jackstead wants to know about your valve grinder.
Oh, yeah. So I recently acquired a valve grinder setup from a gentleman. I also got an old alternator and battery tester, but I've already let someone take those off my hands. Not sure about this. This is kind of cool.
Well, thanks for popping in, Michael. It was good having you.
Michael Lunsford?
Lunsford.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Tristan, don't you see these? Yeah, these colorful sockets. We've got plenty of Harbor Freight stuff here. They don't give me no free clothes.
When I worked for Weston, I bought a bunch of Snap-on stuff, and now I have a problem. Let's try this. On this one, if you will. she's stuck pretty good. And I don't see any kind of physical issue causing it. So it's got to be in the mains. Wait a minute. I got an idea.
Waka waka. All right. Well, Tristan, thanks for coming and joining, man. I look forward to seeing you in April. And we've been streaming for over an hour.
Heck yeah. Okay. That's probably going to fall out here in a minute.
Maybe that's just casting.
It looks like forecasting to me, but hard to say.
Rooster's saying to loosen that rod cap.
Loosen the what now?
The rod cap that's tight.
I think they're all relatively tight.
Yeah, but you got some side to side on each one of these back here.
Let me get the oil pump drive and the timing.
Like I
Deal
said,
out.
that guy right there has no give.
Here, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Hammer on that just a skosh.
This?
Lightly. Okay.
Okay.
It's almost out. Can you? There we go. And that, for the folks that aren't aware, is the timing gear. This meets the cam. And then that's the oil pump rod. I don't know how these are assembled, but they appear to be really well assembled because there's no twisty twist on that. It's pretty tight. I wonder if we can loosen them one by one. Unfortunately, I might have lent somebody my balancer puller, and I haven't seen it come back yet. So we'll be relying on not taking the timing cover off.
Oh.
I definitely don't have the tool to pull it off. But that's what you get when you lend out your tools. Sometimes they take a little longer to get back to you.
That's another reason to buy Harbor Freight.
Yeah, they're cheaper.
Yeah. Balancer puller, like they're out $8.
Oops, it's 9/16.
Lovejoy says you have 4 more hours to stream until we get where we are going.
Goodness, that's a long time.
Jack Stans wants to do a collaboration video soon. That would be awesome.
By golly.
Unfortunately, I've yet to meet 90% of you guys in the chat. So I'm typically working when he's out on the adventures.
I do that strategically.
Yeah, too much of me.
We don't need to bring any more women back to Kansas.
Okay.
Ah, got it. Yeah, Kristen went with me on the adventure to No Name Nationals. That was quite fun. She enjoyed it. And I let her ride in Turbo Tom's Model A. I got him to swap out. Who was it? Who was it that got to ride with me in the wrecker and was very unimpressed?
It's an acquired taste. You gotta have to.
I don't
fall
know.
in love
He
with
was
it.
kind of impressed. He just wasn't super impressed. And I was a little sad. This is going to be kind of difficult.
Rooster says he's staying to see why it's stuck.
So this end cap here needs to come off if we pull these, the end main.
Yeah.
Loose. Might need to get creative here. Let me see if I've got a tool hiding in the back of the wrecker.
One guy right there. I bet with enough gumption you can get it with a wrench.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
We had a 9/16 wrench out. What'd you do with it?
Yes. Here we go. Got it.
I got it loosened.
Now just take all the credit, why don't you?
Yeah. Hey, here's the 9/16 wrench.
Nice. That would have been convenient a moment ago.
Well, this ain't a come and go. We're not about convenience.
Those are all loose. That one down there is going to be a doozy.
It'd be pretty neat if we had a doozy.
I don't know. Don't want that one.
I don't know. Duesenbergs are pretty neat cars, dude.
Well, this one's going to be a pain in the butt. Probably going to break my wrench trying to get it.
Well, let's see if we can get all of them that we can loosened off and see if we can't get this sucker to spin.
I
just a
mean,
little bit.
they are kind of loose now.
There's that. Let's see what I can get with my fingies. Yeah, there was movement.
I think the whole entire.
No, I saw the crank itself move. Hey,
Well, it looks to be in the pistons. Huh.
Well, only one thing to do. Back these suckers off.
Bang on the pistons. That's the only one thing left to do.
Yeah.
Bang on the pistons.
Well, here's what we'll do. Thought you got those loose.
Some of them. I didn't get all of them.
Well, why not?
Well, I can't reach them all.
Well, these were right up top.
Well, those were loose. So they just recently got tightened again. Via nature.
A miracle of nature.
I think all that carbon probably is stuck a couple of the pistons.
Maybe. All right, if you could be any celebrity car guy, who would it be and why?
David Freiberger.
And why?
I like flip flops, and he wears them everywhere.
Ah,
It's snowing in some of his videos on Roadkill, and he's out there in flip flops.
yeah.
The man's a legend, and he goes on some of the coolest adventures too. This last one where he went with a Jeep, a friend of his from Arizona, I believe, and him. They went on this trip from there, or was it New Mexico? I think it was New Mexico. They went all the way. No, it was Arizona, because they just went over the border. Because Freiberg lives in Southern California, I believe, and he just went down there, met him up. They loaded up on this Jeep and drove it all the way to the end of Florida.
Look at that long 916.
I was looking for the angled one. I couldn't find it. It would probably be rather handy right now.
You know who I'd like to meet? Chip Foose.
He seemed like a odd fella. I don't think I'd like him that much.
That's the reason. I want to kick him right in the testicles for how bad he's ruined some of them old cars.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
That one still didn't come loose at all. Crow's foot. Maybe a crow's foot will do the job. Or maybe I get lucky and I find that angled 9/16. Ain't gonna hold my breath on that one.
I would. Where's your hammer? There we go. Vic wants to meet Richard Rawlings
Uh-huh.
for the same nefarious
Similar reasons.
reasons that I want to meet Chip Foose. Vic, you're a good man. Oh, that's how I know I'm in good company, boys.
Maybe the 9/16, the big one.
Big one.
Donkey shoe. Nope. We are not making progress on that one.
There we go. That one's popped loose a little bit.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's just the stud.
Is the stud knocking through, or?
Yeah, the stud's knocking through the piston.
Well, that's not a problem. We're gonna flip it over and hammer on the top. I think that's where we're at right now. There's no way I can get that one easily. So I find that other wrench. Go ahead and flip it over. Let's do that.
Oh, yeah.
All the dirt getting in this oil is going to make O'Reilly's really happy. Give me the big hammer.
Got some movement there.
Some movement there too. Not much there.
Have you seen the video clip of the little girl that's helping her dad work on a car, whatever? And she's swinging a dead blow, and he's holding a punch, and she hits him right in his wrist. Keep going. Okay, this one.
Number one.
That one's moving. That one is solid, and that one is solid.
Number one is solid. Number 5. What else is solid here? Let's look. Number 6.
Vic says, I always knew he was a dope, but what got me is when he said on his show, I only paid $60,000 for this truck, and it was only a 2 or 3 year old plain Jane Silverado. It has been downhill from there. And my wife seems to agree he sounds like a real winner.
Oh, he's probably one of them that I wouldn't care to see.
I'm not a huge fan of most of the car restoration shows. I'd hang out with Danny Coker, though.
Well, so I met Freiberger, Finnegan, Derek, Alex Taylor, a bunch of them while working for Weston, and honestly, none of them seemed like particularly bad folks. Like Alex Taylor, when we were there racing her, that was a whole big silly deal where it was all everyone against Alex Taylor. But honestly, her and her dad and I think it was her uncle and a whole mess of other people that was with them, pretty good folks. They were actually pretty cool folks. I sat down and had a conversation with a few of them. So when in doubt, hammer it out. So we're going to go ahead and step this up to a much larger caliber, as it were. It's going to break free or it is not going to survive. Go big or go home, and we're already home, so we're going big. Come on. So we're going to have to do this the complicated fashion. And so what do we have? Was it?
That one, that
It
one.
was 1, 3, or 1, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So I need you to do the hammering, and I'll do the applying of force. You do the percussive applying of force. There we go. It's moving. All of them. Keep it going. There we go. Hold on. Got it.
That's goopy.
Yeah, there's a lot of carbon in there.
See?
I think that's going the wrong way. Do the tallest one. Probably do number 1 again. Golly, there's a lot of grime in there.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oop. Go ahead. Hold on.
And if any of you guys are watching with your wives, this would be the prime time to tell them that sometimes this is the reason that a 2-hour job becomes an 8-hour job.
And then turns into a 2-year job.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get some of the crud out of here. 'Cause I'll bet you it's a lot of this carbon sticking in the rings. The dog's barking at something.
Yeah.
I don't know what. It's not a raccoon right now, I hope. I do not care for raccoons. Look at that. All right, hammer on that one. Use that. Just
Yeah.
all right. Which one was going back? This one's going back. Hammer on that one.
We need an actual hammering driving apparatus.
Maybe. Go ahead and hammer on that a little more. Try this. It's turning. Just a little at a time, though. Okay, let's take a moment. Think about the lovely things that could be done here. See who's been talking. What we got?
My wife doesn't like raccoons.
Novel. As for Finnegan, the first time I met him, my opinion of him was a little low. But if we're being honest, I think Weston and Garrett they might have rubbed him wrong right off the bat at the first roadkill night that we went to.
Buddy,
But
I think we're hanging up on rain. Feel that all these ring
yeah. But surely that's below it. I don't know.
Well, we also loosen the caps, so there's a little bit more of a.
There's the same amount. It can only push to so far. Yeah, I mean, the first time meeting Freiberger and Finnegan, Freiberger seemed like the cooler of the two at that particular time, but it was roadkill nights and they weren't particularly conversational. And Garrett and Weston, when when they were doing their deal. I think it was kind of one of those things like they were the underdogs in the whole event for the most part. Nobody really knew them. And my understanding is the Dodge CEO is the one that kind of forced the issue and made Weston and Garrett, well, made Weston the guy to go. So I don't know that Finnegan and Freiberger were too happy to talk to him, but the next time at Roadkill Nights, I got to talk to him, and it was kind of the opposite, although Freiberger didn't act poorly or nothing. He was just busy, so we didn't get to talk. Finnegan, on the other hand, got to talk to him a little bit, too. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with them. They seem like pretty good dudes. Heck, everyone that was there for Roadkill Nights, except for fucking Tavarish, I swear there. Tavarish, I do not care for. He's one of those overly rich people. I don't care to deal with him. And there's some other stuff. I'm sure if any of you guys felt like looking up some of his garbage that happened, you can look it up. It's widely known. Yep. Weston got to travel the world with him. Well, travel the states with him. Drove him all over the dadgum place. Helped him out with a lot of vehicles. Got to meet some pretty cool folks. Jared Pink with the questionable garage. He probably doesn't care for Tavarish either. He used to work for him. Either way, there are a lot of people out there that are doing this YouTube thing. You know, big, small, doesn't matter. You know, there are some of them that are really cool, and some of them you just, you know, you make the acquaintance and move on. So far, most of the ones I've met, I ain't had a single problem with, and we got along perfectly. No Name Nationals, for example. I'd only met 2 or 3 people, you know, in person on that adventure. Connor with Lovejoy, or Connor Lovejoy, Lovejoy Shitbox Sanctuary, or whatever. I'm pretty sure he said he was going to rebrand that. But I don't know when that's going to happen. Ray's cool. I mean, who else did we meet out there? Good Lord.
You, man, I got to meet Ray.
You got to meet Ray.
Yeah, Ray was awesome.
John got to meet Ray. We got to see some of Ray's cool stuff. He's got a really neat collection out there.
Oh, buddy.
He's got some goodies. Like, you want to talk to somebody about some old stuff? He's got some old stuff out there. I don't know what he was doing. I did see a short recently, though. He was working on an LS. I don't know what that was for. I'm going to have to go back and follow up because lately I've been real busy with editing and haven't really had a lot of time to visit other channels. Well, that one went down.
Yeah, it did.
That one will not.
Maybe a touch. Oops.
I threw the trash and it landed in the oil pan. Then I sat on top of the trash.
Huh.
Where did the big bar go? There it is. You moved my big bar.
Well, I was looking at things and stuff.
Hammer on that one.
It popped out.
This one was going down, so let's hammer on that one a little bit.
Anything?
Tiny little bits, not much. All right, we're stop dead there. Let's see. Hammer on this one right here. We'll see if we can use it for leverage to knock the others down.
Hilt. I'm sorry you broke up her.
Working on the budget.
having a wee intermission. You got a call from work. Those are the worst. I don't know if we have enough hobbits around here for that. Honestly, the cylinders look pretty good. I'll probably show you those here shortly. They look surprisingly good. They don't look like any kind of water got in them. The only thing that looks like has any kind of water contact is actually the cam right up by the timing gear. So, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I gotta go in the morning.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Got to do an oil change or something?
No, one of the drivers hit a hawk,
Oh,
tore up a headlight. Move it.
feels like it. Yeah, we're moving. All right, hold there. Let's see if we can knock out the rest of these rods that we couldn't reach earlier. I was about to say working on Sunday really stinks, but it's actually Saturday. I'm out of whack in the time schedule apparently.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to knock out every one of these that we can. Oh, that one's stiff. I think that's the one we couldn't reach. Yeah, that's definitely the one we couldn't reach. Let's take the ones that we've knocked free completely, and we'll see if we can knock these pistons out. But we're going to do them one by one so we don't confuse the order. Honestly, there's some gunk in that bearing, but it's entirely possible that it might have been from us loosening it. But the bearing doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look burnt or anything. And it doesn't feel oil starved. Interesting. Well, let's set that there. And then where is hand me those. Hand me the small one. There you go. We're going to try to gently not sure what was going on there. Got it. All right.
I was gonna say, why don't you just use a rail hammer and a brass bunch and drive right onto the rock?
There we go. Come over here and catch it, would you? I don't have a brass punch long enough for that, I think. That's a heck of a piston. It doesn't really look that bad. And again, there's some gunk in there. This bearing, it doesn't look that bad. So Not really sure it's got the, not really sure it's the issue. Well, I'll pop the bearings back in. Put the caps back on. There we have number one. Oh, yeah. Hello. We've got slightly better looking Ajax today. But I assure you, it's quite flammable. You'll see this in another video coming up shortly. All right. Let's see, which one else would be reasonable? We could probably do there. Yep. Number 3, again. Bearing doesn't look that bad. Interesting.
Is it?
It looks pretty good. And that one was moving pretty smoothly too. So let's see what happens coming out. Yeah, we're fighting on that ring. So the lip up here is not helping it.
No, not at all.
Would you tap on that? Okay, that's through. Keep going. Okay. Go. Hold on. All right.
I need to get on a side gig in a mariachi band, dude.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards that lip might be it. 'Cause honestly, the bearing looks pretty good. Nothing seems out of whack on here. A little bit dirty, but honestly, that could have been us breaking it open. But yeah, really, there's just a ton of carbon in there. The upper ring on this particular one is stuck. The lower ring is quite out of place. It's popped right out, so I could probably pull it off by hand. I'm betting it is just that lip sticking on the upper ring. Goodness. Well, there's number 3 and number 1.
This one's easier to come out.
All right. Let's get that cap off.
Come on now. noises.
Same story on this one. The upper ring, it's in there pretty good, and the lower is sticking out. And what number was that one? 4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got 3 of the 8 out. Cap. Now this one shows a little bit of wear, but you can't really see it that much. But it's easier to see it on this one than the others, but there's some wear. Still not catastrophic. You got her?
And just a touch close to that lid.
Coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, just hit it with the hammer.
Now we're
The
hitting
long
on
hammer.
the stud.
Oh.
I thought we had just enough to clear it, but we don't. Alright. So, yeah.
Still sticking. I think we'll be sending this motor in for repairs at some point. You're off of it.
Come on now.
Oh, hey, it's bouncing back. There we go. And this one here's the upper is actually sticking out some. The lower is out a bunch. Ah. And the rod doesn't move very well. Interesting. Now we're going to do this. That was
8.
8. So we've got 8 out.
Yeah, we're about to have 7 out.
It moves pretty easily. Let's see if it'll come out nicely. Well, it came out reasonably. Where's the other stud?
Right here.
So, I guess we're probably going to have to send this thing off for some kind of fancy schmancy machining, which is kind of weird. We never do that around here.
That. Wow.
Is it stuck pretty good?
Yeah. Ow.
Watch out, that's your knuckle. Where are we at? 12 watching now. We're losing numbers. We're not funny enough anymore. Somebody get the dancing bear. Keep hammering on. It'll go eventually.
Oh. You know you want to.
Almost there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just losing my angle and hitting my knuckle.
Well, you could just switch to the big hammer now. It's close, but it ain't there yet.
Yeah, roll it over just a little bit.
Give it a tappy tap.
Anything?
Yep. Okay. Give it one more. It's almost done. Now this one's also rather stiff on the rod. And both rings are carboned up pretty good. And the oil ring is sticking out some. That's interesting. And that was... Okay, that was seven.
Six?
That was 5.
5.
I think it was 5.
9. Either way, this next door neighbor is ready for this departure now. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the easiest one of them all.
Yeah.
And both rings, they're not locked up at all, so they look like they're in pretty good shape. Of course, there's a lot of carbon on here, but it's not that bad looking. Okay, that was 7. No, that was on the...
This side.
That was 6. And now,
I'll get your cap on it.
I'm getting ahead of myself here. I think it's getting late. My brain don't work as well. Yeah, Rooster, that probably would be it. There's like 3 of them that are pretty well locked up.
There you go. There's all
That's
8.
all of them.
There's a cap.
Yep, this is it.
There's a nut. Nut on the wall.
Yeah, we're missing 3 nuts. Yeah, here we are. This rod here, yeah, it's freed up a little bit now. I think it's possibly a combination. Maybe it's something to do with the rod being stiff, but It's also possible that these rings and that lip were interacting incorrectly. That one can stay in there because those studs stayed. We'll fish it out tomorrow. Like this one is okay. It's not stiff now, but it was really stiff earlier. I couldn't get it to go anywhere.
I'm really curious as to. There's a little bit there.
Where?
Oh, I
Hold
just
up, hold
wondered.
up. Go back. Flip it back over. Is that plastic gauge or some piece of one? Oh no, that's a piece of the hammer.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the teeth of the stymie gear.
It looks to be Teflon, but I couldn't tell for sure.
You know, I was really looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow.
It's kind of how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm up pretty early every morning, so it really doesn't matter. Even on the potential days I could sleep in, I'm still up really early. That's fantastic. This crank turns free. That's really free. So the mains don't seem to be having any issues. There's enough of a lip on here, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting the motor back together. It's got to go to a machine shop.
Hey, it's usable if need be. You could.
I mean, I don't know how far we can go on boring out Mopar. Rooster would definitely be the expert on this. Possibly, Jamie or someone like that. I can probably ask him tomorrow. Heck, what time? It's probably 7 o'clock for him right now. I could probably message him right now.
Say it's almost 9 here.
Yeah, I think he's 2 hours behind us. Well, that is good news. We have found success. Most of the motor is torn down, and we know why it was sticking. And it wasn't what I thought it was, which is interesting. At the other motor, I don't think I included a clip of it, but the pickup tube was plumb full of bits of the plastic of the Teflon that was on the timing sprocket. So, yeah, I thought for sure that this was something similar and it was an oil starvation issue, but this is really kind of impressive. It just, ow, I pinched myself on the timing tab on the cover.
Rooster says the ridge is below the rings. If you took a ridge reamer, you could still use it.
I mean, we could, yeah. It's really not that steep.
Yeah.
It's
Like I said, I mean,
pretty light ring in the way of rings.
You could rebuild this thing fairly easy.
Not bad.
I mean, we're this far. You could throw some mains in there, get rod bearings, and go ahead and do a cam timing chain set. You could have a spare Mopar motor, or you could buy another Mopar to have to put a motor in.
I mean, I think we've got enough projects floating around that I don't want to put a motor into them just yet.
Well, that would only make one more motor out of the 15 motors that we've got to put in
Let's
in
see.
the next 3 years.
The Thunderbird almost guaranteed needs a motor. The Impala needs a motor. The cargo truck eventually will need a motor because I'm going to pull that 6.2 diesel and put a small block in there.
My pickup,
your
the other
pickup.
pickup.
The other pickup.
We're going to be pulling the motor out of the 57 again at some point.
Mm-hmm. Cadillac.
Yeah,
El Camino.
yeah.
Everything needs a motor around here.
Did you say the Impala?
So, and then presumably, if I can find a Chevelle or a Nova or a Camaro, which, apparently my phone's ringing. but we don't care. Yeah, if we could find one of those, then they're all going to be within my budget range, likely needing a motor. So yeah. Now, if anyone knows where a 69 Chevelle is, I don't even care if it's a 2-door or a 4-door. I don't care if it's rusted in half. Well, I kind of do on that because I'd have to find a frame. But I would like to get me a 69 Chevelle, a 69 Camaro, and a 69 Nova. That's going to complete my Chevy 69 collection.
I might pick up in Suburban, but who's counting?
I don't care about those. I'm talking about cars. 69 cars. Pickup wise, I used to have a 69 Chevy. In fact, I used to have 2 of them. I traded a gentleman. Probably I'll show you his yard when he gets his legal status up. He's working on some official garbage to get his salvage yard functional, but he's a friend of mine here in Kansas. He's up in La Harpe, and he deals pretty much exclusively in GM trucks. So Chevys and GMCs, and the vast majority of it seems to be squares, at least in the past. So whenever he gets his stuff squared away, I'll probably do a video on that, probably a little short on that. Either way, there's also the other big project that I didn't even think about. I need to build the Crew Cab K30.
Yeah.
So I acquired a Crew Cab K30 frame and suspension. So it means I've got me a Dana 60 and a Dana 70 sitting behind the shop that needs to go on a truck. I've wanted a Crew Cab K30 for a long, long time. And yeah, they're kind of hard to come by. Now I've got the Dana 60 and 70 sitting back there. As if I could find me a truck, I could build one. Yeah, we're chock up to our eyeballs in projects around here. And of course the Plymouth, it runs, does not drive yet, so we got to make that happen.
Yeah, and we're gonna come up with extra projects along the way in a way that, we gotta get the front end of the 56 together to where it's usable.
We have another truck project that I have not brought home yet as well. Ford, old Ford.
Now, there's still a little more work to be done at Skylark. There's still a lot of work to be done at 57.
There's projects for days. Like we have more than enough projects. You're out of frame, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
There we go. Now you'll be able to see his pretty face. You're welcome.
Now, there's only one person in chat that's worried about seeing me.
Oh, by golly. Connor probably enjoys seeing you too. He's a man of many flavors. You know what's funny is next time on the No Name, if I do bring an ambulance, then I'm camping out in the ambulance. But that's all to be determined. I may sell the ambulance I currently have and go buy another one, which is way cooler, like stupid retro. It looks like a 70s trailer house inside. It's really nice. And it's local. Would have been nice to be able to see it.
So does it have wood grain paneling on the
It does have wood grain paneling, and it's retro lighting and everything. It's really cool. Take out the stupid, digital controller that runs those flashy, what are those daggum lights on the ambulance? I can't remember off the top of my head, but fancy schmancy obnoxious lights. They're really strobes.
There you go.
Yeah, strobes. The words come to me from time to time. Yeah, it's projects galore around here, and tax season's right around the corner too. So, I'm probably going to spend everything that we get on something silly. Maybe several something sillies. Oh, I didn't even realize this. There's another expanded plug in there.
Nice. Hey, Cecil, glad you could make it, man.
Welcome to the chat, Cecil. Unfortunately, we're like this close to wrapping up. But don't forget, everyone, go out and buy your extra flammable Ajax. Just FYI, this is in fact gasoline and transmission fluid, but it looks really good. And now maybe I can play with it more in the next video. Because that last load was 2-stroke oil, for those of you that didn't know. Well, I think at that rate, we're pretty well done.
Yeah, I don't see us being able to go much further. We ain't got no parts. We
Yeah,
ain't got tools to finish pulling it apart.
yeah, I can't pull off the balancer that is stuck there until we have a. Oh, that reminds me. We need to find a balancer for this thing. I did a bunch of looking on the internet, and I couldn't find one. So I don't know. Maybe Rooster, if you could send me some information on a good place to pick up a balancer for a Mopar big block, that would be phenomenal. Assuming Rooster's still here, he may have called it quits. He's got things going on. I know he was polishing some chrome. John would love that. Sent me a picture. Really good looking picture. Rooster's got some cool cars. Well, I think that's it then. Everybody out there, have an excellent evening. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I will probably be out in the shop playing with something. John can update me blow by blow. Not that I'll be concerned with the result.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I will be very concerned with the result.
Yeah, he's a Chiefs fan, so go Chiefs for him. Anyhow, that is, I think that's a wrap. Everyone, trust in the rust.
Yeah, I gotta get cleaned up so that I can get ready for bed so I go to work tomorrow.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Life just don't get any better sometimes.